All right, today we're jumping right into the core spiritual teachings from a text called the Murli. We're going to take a journey through its really unique vision of time, what it means to be a soul, and the path it lays out for creating a brand new world.
So to really get this, you have to understand one central idea, this powerful contrast you see right here. The whole philosophy is built on it. It says there are two totally different realities. On one hand, you've got the world we're in now, described as impure, vicious, and old. But on the other hand, there's this vision of a pure, viceless, and new world, basically a heaven. And the whole story really is about how we get from here to there.
So let's start with the problem itself. The text first takes a hard look at our current reality, framing it as the fundamental issue that everything else is designed to solve. Now, here's a pretty challenging idea. The world we live in, it's not our real home. The text describes it as a place that's temporary and kind of falling apart, an old, impure village, as it says, that's just full of conflict. The main point is that it's become a place that just isn't fit for souls in their original pure state.
Okay, so that makes you wonder, right? How in the world did things get this way? Well, the source material explains this with this really fascinating idea of a great cyclical journey downward.
Now, check this out. Time here isn't a straight line. It's a cycle. The idea is that the soul starts out in a golden age, in a state of absolute purity. Then it slowly comes down a kind of ladder through the Silver Age, then the Copper Age, and finally hits the Iron Age, where it reaches a state of total impurity. Every age is like another step down, losing a little more of those original divine qualities. And here's where it gets super specific. We're not talking about some vague, endless timeline. Nope. The Murli says this whole cosmic drama, from paradise down to decay and all the way back up again, happens over a very precise, fixed period. Exactly 5,000 years. It's like a play that's on a loop, repeating over and over. So picture this. The cycle has hit rock bottom. It's the darkest moment of the Iron Age. And it's right at this point, the text says, that a very unique guide appears. And this isn't just any teacher. This is the one who kicks off the world's great renewal. But this brings up a real head-scratcher, doesn't it? If every single soul has fallen into this state of impurity, who's left? Who possibly has the power and the know-how to pull everyone back up? Who can even start the journey back? The answer, according to the text, has to be someone who exists outside of this cycle. This being gets the title Patit Pavan, which means the purifier of the impure. The idea is that only a supreme spiritual father, one who never goes through birth and death and so never gets impure, can come down at this exact critical moment to show everyone else the way home. Okay, so we've got the problem, an impure world. And we've got the guide who comes to help fix it. But what's the actual method? What do you have to do to make this huge transformation happen? You know, the core instruction is actually incredibly simple, but it's really deep. It's all about a shift in consciousness. The main practice is to stop thinking of yourself as this physical body and instead see yourself for what you truly are, a soul, a tiny point of light. And from that state of awareness, you just maintain a constant loving mental connection with a father.
This practice is so important, it's summed up in this one powerful instruction, Manmanabhav. It pretty much means fix your mind on me. And this isn't about some quick prayer here and there. It's a call for a continuous state of mind. The text basically says this is the engine of change. It's how you absorb purity and power directly from the ultimate source.
And get this, people who take on this inner work are called secret warriors. I love that because the name tells you everything you need to know about the struggle. Like it says, their battlefield isn't out there in the world somewhere. It's all happening inside their own minds. So if the battle is internal, who are the enemies? Well, the text is clear. The real enemies aren't other people. They're these 5 big vices: lust, anger, greed, attachment, and ego. These are seen as the real source of all our sorrow. So the whole spiritual fight is about conquering these forces inside yourself, using the strength you get from that practice of remembrance.
But winning this internal war isn't just for you. It has a world-changing result. So where does this path of remembrance actually lead? What's the ultimate outcome?
The result is nothing less than a complete metamorphosis of the soul. As you can see, it's a journey from one extreme to the other. The soul goes from being tamopradhan,
which is basically rock bottom, a state of maximum impurity at the very end of the Iron Age, all the way back to Satopradhan, its original, natural state of maximum purity. It's a total factory reset to how things were back in the Golden Age.
And here's the payoff. This huge personal transformation is directly tied to a world-changing reward. The source explains that the ones who manage to purify themselves this way are the ones who earn the right to inherit a divine status, basically to become deities in the new pure world that's on its way.
So what's life actually like in this new world? I mean, the text paints a picture of a literal heaven on earth. We're talking about an existence that goes on for 21 lifetimes with perfect health, limitless wealth, total peace, and just constant happiness. It's a world defined by the complete absence of all the sorrow that marks the old one. Which brings us to the grand finale, the dramatic conclusion of the cycle. How does this massive changeover actually happen? How does the old world finally give way to the new? Well, the way it's described, it all happens at the same time. It's not like one thing ends and then the next one begins. As that new world of peace, the Golden Age, is being established for the pure souls, the old, impure world of sorrow is simultaneously undergoing complete destruction. It's a total cosmic reset, clearing the stage for the next act. And this is such a key perspective shift. The source doesn't see this whole cycle of creation and destruction, of rise and fall, as something chaotic or tragic. Not at all. It's called a perfect, wonderfully made drama. Every soul is just an actor playing their part, and the whole show repeats exactly the same every 5,000 years. And that just brings the whole thing full circle, leaving us with this one powerful question to think about. What if the end is just the beginning? You know, in our normal, linear view of time, an ending is, well, it's final. But in this cyclical view, the end is just the necessary step before a fresh, perfect beginning. The destruction of the old world isn't a tragedy. It's the very thing that makes the birth of the new one possible.